welcome to a very rainy Saturday. I am sorry that I scheduled a live earlier and canceled it because I've been having a really bad period today. Uh, Probably hasn't been this bad in at least 4 years. Um, so I don't know if I was supposed to take ibuprofen, but I did because I'm still on my antibiotics. Um, but I had to cancel that previous live because I was just doubled over in pain. Um, it took about 40 minutes for the ibuprofens to kick in, and I was basically rolling around in my bed, losing feeling in my limbs a little bit from the seizing that happens to my body when period pain and cramps get bad enough. And when the pain finally subsided, I just passed out. I just fell asleep for an hour. Um, so I'm here. We're gonna make dumplings because we're out of dumplings for grandma. I have to do it. And I don't know if I'm gonna have enough energy, but I would like to make a little pear cake for myself with the pear butter that we made last time. Um, but I'm just gonna take it really easy and slow because I'm feeling really tired. A friend told me that apparently he read a study that some people have been reporting more painful periods after getting COVID. I don't know if anybody else has read that, heard that, experienced that. Um, this is a condition that I've had since 2012 or 2013. The first time it happened, I went to the ER because it literally felt like the worst pain in my life, and I thought I was dying, especially because my whole color drained from my face and my limbs started turning numb, and I was like, holy shit, I don't know what's happening. But now that I know what to expect, because it has happened to me since then, maybe 5 or 6 times, it's awful every time. The pain doesn't get easier just because you expect it, but at least there's no absolute horror of holy shit, what's happening. But it's bad, and weed used to work for me, but it kind of stopped working. So also when it happens like this, I can't even move really. It took everything out of me to just slump off the bed. That's what I did. I couldn't really sit up or walk. I just kind of slid off the bed like Mercury to get water. So, and I think I'm getting a little bit emotional because it always sucks feeling this sick alone. But heating pad, yeah, my friend Samira told me heating pads help. So my body just crashed for an hour, and I'm feeling a little bit rested, and the pain is starting to come back because I think maybe the painkillers are wearing off. But peeps who have painful periods, I'm so sorry. Solidarity. This sucks. It sucks every time. My brain's kind of soggy. I did make ginger tea. I think I had 2 missteps. I don't know to what degree they contributed, but the first episode that I've ever had of this intense pain was preceded by me eating a whole bag of plantain chips that I bought from Trader Joe's. And lo and behold, I swore off plantain chips for 8 years. And then just today, I had half a bag before my period onset. And I don't know if that contributed to it or because I had like a cup of really strong tea and the caffeine did me in, but um, not having a great time with plantain chips. So, not sure what the connection there is. Have turmeric milk. Maybe we can make some of that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Um, it's just really hard to plan for it because my periods aren't really regular, so I can't really predict when it's happening. The pain usually tends to be better when I can treat it before the onset of the period, but because it's coupled with irregularity, it's really hard for me to know, oh, it's coming, drink your ginger tea and your turmeric milk now. Oh, I don't have raw turmeric, unfortunately. They're not really readily available here. Some stores do carry it. I don't know if it's food making the pain worse. I think it's just the plantain chips is, it happens to be a correlation. I don't know what the causation is because I've had plantain chips since then without this happening 100% of the time that I eat plantain chips. So, you know, I would, yeah, thank you, Rachel, for pointing that out. And also, I think I'm at a point in my journey towards healing my relationship with food that people's advice don't trigger me in that way in terms of like relapsing back into unhealthy eating behaviors, but they do make me annoyed when people tell me to do things with my diet. So just keep that in mind. I know you mean well, and let's not go haze anyone in the comments because they said something that could be misconstrued as mean or inconsiderate, but like do keep that in mind, you know, when you give people medical advice or any sort of advice that it could be triggering for them. But thank you all for being here. I'm happy to be live again. But just know that I'll be moving a little bit slower because my body is like, whoa, buddy. It is time for our pink chewables. These also don't taste better with time. Ugh. Hi, Australia. Sorry to all the people I didn't say hi to yet. I saw you. I saw Philippines say hi. Hello. Or at least I thought I saw Philippines say hi. Let me know if I'm being delusional. How are you all this week? How have you been? How's the weather where you are? It's pretty dreary in New York right now. Hi, Wisconsin. Thank you, California. Hi, Belgium. Your daughter's home from college and you're fighting already. Sounds familiar, Mom. Sounds familiar. All I can say is enjoy those fights and those moments while you still can, because man, oh man, do I miss it. I always miss my mom when I'm feeling like shit. Our leftover flour from last time. Oh. Yeah. I understood too late that fighting was just a part of me and Mom's dynamic. And I think I had in my brain this concept that one day will be normal, whatever that means. And I kept waiting for us to not fight, but that was just our relationship. And I wish I understood that sooner. But now I do, and I understand human dynamics a little bit better, not completely, but I'm learning every day that fantasies of smooth, unproblematic connections are just one more ideal that probably will never be reality, and that's fine, you know? You've seen me do this many times, so we're just doing some dumpling rolling. I don't know why I put so much flour out. I probably don't need it, oops. But here we go. And I think when Mom first passed away, people kept comforting me by telling me that, you know, it's okay, that I miss her, and that's one way of keeping her alive is through memories, and I think I've held on to that idea as a comfort point, for sure. So I'm trying to keep that in mind every time I miss her. That's what we Asians do? All we Asians do is fight? Oh, dang, man. I was definitely born into the wrong race. Fuck. Could always be worse, though. Could always be worse. It really depends on why you're fighting, you know? Sometimes parents are harmful. Sometimes parents do hurtful things. Sometimes parents are abusive. They're just people. It's the luck of the draw. So if you disconnected with your parents because they were hurting you, then that's what you had to do at the time. There's no point in blaming yourself for anything. That's just how Things are sometimes, but I don't know your situation, so I'm not gonna weigh in on that, but I hope you do what's right for you, and sometimes the right thing to do isn't going to be easy, and if that's the case, I'm really sorry that you got the shit end of the stick. Is this a rosary cross? No, but this is a cross that my dad got me when he went to Jerusalem. So he gave it to me, so now I just put it there. If anything that I'm saying is triggering for you, please turn off my stream. My opinions are just my opinions. My viewpoints are just my viewpoints. I am also just another human being with life shit. But you decide what's the best thing for you. I'm not in the energy set right now to, I don't know if energy set is a phrase, I'm using it instead of mindset. My mindset is still the same, but my energy set is not in sufficient stability right now to discuss how to rationalize things, or if I'm rationalizing things. I think this is just a thought that I have for myself, is that things can always be worse. It's something that I truly believe in, that things can always be worse. It helps me to reset my framework, mentally, psychologically, emotionally. It helps to stabilize me. It works for me. I'm not saying it works for anyone else, but I'm saying it works for me. And so if it works for me, then it works for me. And I really don't need other people to tell me that that's not a healthy way to rationalize things, because it's a way that I prefer to do it in. So that's my boundary. You've heard my spiel, and you can take it or leave it. You can say I don't have the spoons? Okay. I don't have the frickin' spoons. I only have forks right now. Everything is slipping through the tines. Can't drink no soup. But yeah, guys, periods suck to begin with, but let me know, have you had worse periods since you've gotten COVID? If you're open to discussing it and sharing your experience, I would love to know what your periods have looked like since you got COVID. This is very fascinating for me. I think it's such a young disease to speak of that we still don't know the impact that COVID has on us. Interesting. Ovarian cyst. You know, when I was in high school, I was kind of diagnosed with PCOS. So do you know what the impact is of having an ovarian cyst burst? Because if that's the case, if every time I've been having a burst cyst, that means I've had 6 burst cysts. Does that mean I'm just going to die one day? Thank you for sharing that. I've got to be honest with you, I haven't had a great time visiting gynecologists. They give me really horrible advice sometimes, and the only thing they ever offer me is birth control pills, and I feel like I've never really gotten an explanation of what the fuck is going on with my body. There is such a serious gap in medical science for the treatment of dysmenorrhea. I absolutely agree. What the fuck is going on with that? Like, it's so not fair. I think so many women struggle with this shit, and they don't have anything except birth control pills. It's awful. Pisses me off. And it happens to us every month, possibly. So what are they waiting for to figure this out? So I don't have a pain that concentrates on one side of the abdomen. It's kind of like all up in here, and then I start to feel like I'm gonna shit my pants and throw up at the same time, with incredible pain that just spreads from that abdomen area until my limbs lose feeling because my whole body is so stressed out. No joke. It's been freezing in my room today because of how rainy it is and how low temperature it is, that I was wearing mom's jacket indoors. And when this period pain hit, I had to take off that jacket so I can roll on my bed. And then I started sweating because of how worked up my body get. It felt like I was like running on a treadmill degree of exertion. It's insane. My temperature regulation was off. I don't know. There isn't treatment once they burst if you have no other symptoms. Endometrius pain, yeah. I think I have undiagnosed endometrius too. Like, how do you get diagnosed for that shit? I don't know how you get diagnosed for endometriosis. I've been wondering for years now if I have that. And I'm so upset because this hasn't happened in a very long time. But it happened today and I was so caught off guard. I was like not prepared for it at all. What's BC, Celia? I would love to know what you take. So I've been on birth control pills before, maybe 3 rounds of it. I hate it. The last time that I took it, I quit because it made my mood swings so much worse. My periods weren't regular anymore anyway, even while I was on them. It made my depression worse. It made me feel angry all the time. I hated it. It caused a lot of relationship issues and turmoil for me and Aaron because of how irregulated my mood swings were. I was just like a nasty, raging bitch sometimes, you know? I can't blame it completely on the birth control pills, but maybe I can. I don't know. I don't know anymore. And that's the thing about taking medication is you don't really know how it's affecting you, and that can in itself be very scary. I don't like it. Uterine fibroids. Ay, ay, ay. I don't have bleeding in between periods, but I did have spotting when I was still on my birth control pills, which is why, part of why I quit it, because I was like, okay, I'm on birth control pills. I'm spotting in between cycles. It's making me very, very moody. I don't know if this is helping, and I hate it, so I stopped. Guess I have to go back to the gyno. I really don't feel like doing doctors anymore. They fucking just aren't it for me. I don't want it. Don't want anything to do with them. Let's make ourselves happy by using a little heart spoon, huh? One of my favorite spoons. They froze your cervix? What the fuck does that even mean? They can do that? That sounds like, I don't even know what that sounds like, honestly. That sounds very confusing to me. Women's health, man. Women's health is sorely lacking. Reproductive health sucks. They want us to have babies, but they won't let us have peace. Yes, the cake, if I get to making it, because I don't know how my energy levels will hold up after making dumplings for an hour and a half, will be for me. I'm trying to use up the pear butter that we made last time on the stream. And I think I have some sourdough discard that I can either put in the cake or put into cracker dough. I haven't decided yet, so I'm just thinking about it. If we don't want babies, yeah, we should really be able to opt out of the whole period thing. I freaking agree. I don't know why I have to suffer like this, man. Sucks. Hello, Benjamin. I saw your comment, actually, just to let you know how much mental power you guys have over me. Benjamin left a comment on one of my shorts today after I woke up from my pain-induced slumber that says, I hope you'll go live soon. And I was like, yeah, I should go live soon. Gotta make dumplings. Don't abuse that power, guys. I'm warning you. You can break a person by using too much power. But yes, I am happy to be here. I'm happy to talk periods and pain and dead moms with all of you. Hi, Poland. Bonnie, if you're open to sharing, I would love to know what a good classic case of endometrius is. What does it look like? I guess I'm trying to armchair diagnose myself, but I'll definitely go to a doctor if I need to. I've seen so many doctors about my reproductive health before, and they haven't really been able to help, and I'm just honestly tired of spending time, energy, money on this thing that nobody knows what to do with. Yeah, seeing a doctor in the US is hard. If you're not extremely poor and destitute, or if you're not extremely rich, healthcare is rough. Because if you're poor enough, you can go on Medicaid, and then things suck because it takes forever to like wait for the doctor to see you sometimes, but at least you won't have to worry about sticker shock. But when I used to make more than like poverty line wages, it costs a lot of copays just to see basic preventative health sometimes. It's crazy. Hi Arizona. I don't know what you want me to share about vegetarian dumplings. Dumplings is just a wrapper made of flour usually, wrapped in with stuff in the middle, so you can put whatever you want. You can turn it any recipe like a chicken pot pie filling into a dumpling if you want. So I'm just gonna say use your imagination. I'm not here to give you details on everything. I'm just here to show you what is possible when you do crazy experiments. There are no formulas that I follow for cooking really. I just wing it and make something edible. Hi Austria. Okay, I will never take Midol again. I took Midol once in high school or middle school. I think it was probably high school. And it freaking made my period like last 11 days with horrible pain for some reason. It might just be a correlation, but my period did get worse with a shit ton of bleeding after taking Midol. So I've not taken Midol for a decade and a half now because of that experience. Yeah, mushrooms sound great. Mushroom and rice in a veggie dumpling. Carrots. I like carrots. Tofu. My grandma used to make these steamed buns that had cellophane noodles, like rice noodles, chopped in there. I could see that working for a dumpling too. You can do scrambled eggs in the filling. But yeah, there's a lot of combos. I'm sure if you Google it, they'll have. But thank you, chat, for pulling up with suggestions when I'm simply too tired. You caught me at a dead brain space day. I'm not being very creative right now because I think my brain is just like, I need to not be here. It is very rainy and gloomy today. I'm in New York City and it's the same exact weather here. There was at one point during the pain where I was on my bed just like screaming. Not really screaming, more like moaning and yelling. I bet my neighbors thought I was having really good sex or giving birth to a child, because that's what it sounded like. At one point, I let out like a very guttural scream, growl, and I was like, that felt really good. I should do more growling in my life, just normally. But it's horrible. It's horrible. Those two things probably shouldn't sound alike. It was a combination of both. It was a combination of both. Because these pains for me come in waves. Kind of like how, so I've heard people describe them as similar to labor pains. You go through like 20 seconds of really, really, really intense pain, and then it washes out like a wave for about 5 to 6 seconds. And then it builds up again. So it's just like, out of 10, a 2 on the pain scale, up to a 4.5, up to a 7, and then your brain's like, oh fuck, it's coming, and then it goes up to like an 8.5, and then it like breaks the meter sometimes, and that's when my limbs start shaking and losing feeling and sensation, and at one point I think my head was even just shaking, involuntarily, like it was just seizing. Does it sound like a lot like endometriosis? Well, fuck. Damn. That sucks. I'm just reading all these stories about people who have had these awful experiences with periods, and I'm like, I cannot believe that we do not have the technology to understand more about these conditions that happen to people all around the world constantly. This is something that we have to deal with for decades in our lives, and I'm sure menopause doesn't hit any easier for people who already have pre-existing reproductive health conditions. I still remember, I can't disremember it, unremember it, whatever you want to call it, when I went to the ER and they had a male doctor come in to examine me, and he shone a light up my opening and was like fingering me to examine me, and he was like, seems fine, did you take painkillers? And I was like, uh-huh, and he was like, how many? And then I was like, 1, and then he literally laughed and chuckled, and he said, next time take 3. And that was how I got a $780 bill 2 months later, which I never paid, because I said, fuck that shit. I didn't get to choose the gyno at the ER because it was the ER. I guess it was just whoever they had on shift. I've only had female gynos for the most part because my mom probably didn't want me being looked at by a man, being her pure Chinese immigrant Christian self. Yeah. I need a healthcare system? Yeah, we sure do. Who can lend America a working healthcare system? Because we ain't got one right now. We would like some healthcare, please. I'm not saying all male gynecologists behave this way, guys. There's more considerate ones out there, I'm sure. I'm also pretty sure that not all female gynos are great either. If they're just all human. Let's not concentrate on one identity aspect and apply it to the broad spectrum of what makes a person good or bad at that time. But yeah, I'm just saying that as an example of how shitty healthcare and healthcare professionals can be when treating you. It was just like an insane reaction to give someone who's just gone through some of the worst pains that she's ever experienced. I was like, I couldn't even process it in the moment. I was like, that's it? You just came in for 20 seconds and left? Okay, cool. And they administered me 1 pill of ibuprofen as soon as I went into the ER, and that was $30 on the bill. Thankfully, I got most of the fees on that negotiated to a lower rate after, because I was still making minimum wage working in restaurants at the time, and I was low income. So I didn't have to pay the whole ambulance bill. The ambulance bill, by the way, is a separate bill from the examining bill. That doctor checking me out cost $700. The ambulance cost $800. I paid the ambulance bill because I was like, all right, I did pay that. I think they negotiated down to like $240 or something for me. But when I got the doctor's bill, which did not come at the same time as the ambulance bill, so I thought I paid for the entire visit when I paid for the ambulance bill, but turns out the physician bills you separately than the ambulance. Pap smears aren't scary. From my perspective, they're not. You know, spread your legs, and then they keep your opening open with this, like, usually it's a plastic thing, and then they just insert a metal utensil that's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, and then they just take out the sample. That's it. It should be fast. I've not read the Women Code. I've not read many books, by the way. I don't really read. Speculum. Yes, thank you for the words that I do not know the names. I love live chat. You guys educate me on so many things. My life has been changed forever because you told me how to have a pill bottle cap fit so that it doesn't hurt my hands every time I open it. I am forever grateful. And I do feel like one of the best GYNs I've ever had was also a DO. What does that stand for again? They're just more holistic doctors. But unfortunately, once again, she switched practices and my insurance no longer covered her, so then I was off to find another. I think it's very important for doctors to communicate with you before every step of the procedure, even though it's a quick and short procedure, especially if it's your first time getting it. So maybe you can request that they tell you what they're doing every step of the way, like, I'm going to do this, then this, then this, and ask them to be as specific as possible so that you can be prepared, because if you are nervous and you tighten up and your body isn't ready for it, it's probably also going to be harder for them to extract the sample that they need. What is it with me and Germany? I don't know. My fantasy land, I guess. My alpaca farm, but in terms of culture and behavior and social mores. I was just telling my uncle how crazy it is that I have to pay federal tax, state tax, and New York City tax that ends up being 35 to 40% of my entire paycheck at the end of the year. And we still don't have usable public services like healthcare. Like, all that money is going to war, I guess, and cops now. And yeah, it is kind of on the people, especially at a local level, people like me who don't go to budget meetings, but like a lot of us don't even know that it's happening. Recently, because farm school peeps are involved in local government a little bit more in their personal lives, I've been alerted to like committee meetings or local council meetings where they discuss budgeting for the next quarter or the next year, but they don't educate you on when these meetings happen. And even if you know meetings are happening, most people who are working class, which is the bulk of most people in this country, don't have fucking time to go to these meetings. So how do you encourage a participatory government when you have a system that is completely draining you of all of your free time and energy just to stay alive? I mean, Thanks everyone for the pap smear advice. Yay. We love it here. So this week I've been editing my last long video, which I filmed in April. I know it's been like 6 weeks since I filmed it and I'm still working freaking slow through it, but I promise you I will try to have it before the end of the month. And I've been uploading some shorts of clips because I thought, why not? See how they do. Guys, YouTube pays jack shit for shorts. I keep seeing these creators that have like millions of views on their shorts and I'm like, oh, they must be making bank. Which maybe once you get up into the millions they can. But like for example, one of my shorts got 4,000 views, which is average. You know, most of my lives hit about 4,000 to 5,000 views too. And most of my lives, when they hit 4,000 or 5,000 views, I make like 27 bucks, 34 bucks, maybe sometimes 40 something bucks, depending on the content and who advertises on them. But these shorts, they've made me each 20 to 40 cents for 4,000 views. What? They're like Spotify streaming revenues. Any suggestions on what I can make with chicken wings? I like baking chicken wings. Yeah, obviously I'm not uploading the shorts to make money. I was just curious and I enjoy sharing them because, Karen, you're absolutely right. I do feel like they're like fun teasers for upcoming videos and I have these fun clips anyway, so might as well just upload them. But I'm just shocked at how little people get paid for their shorts. Shocked. I thought I would at least make like $1 per 4,000 views. $10 million views on shorts every month. It generates about 1,500. That's good to know. That's pretty good, I guess. But 10 million views, wow. That's a lot of views. Thank you for sharing that. We love getting an insider's look onto how these platforms work. Maybe they're gonna ban me, I don't know. But if they ban me, we'll just have to do something else. We'll always keep it moving, guys. And the ones who will want to find me will find me. That's how I've started to think about these things. I think Aaron really wanted me when I got fired to do my own thing and do my own videos, and he was very encouraging of me. He was like, you have a very rare opportunity now where you have an audience and you can do something with it and you can work for yourself now. You don't have to work for anyone else. And I was like, you're absolutely right, but working for yourself is not actually working for yourself. Working on YouTube especially, you're working for the audience and you're working for the platform that you're being hosted on. And YouTube rules, guys. Who can ever predict what YouTube rules are? They can ban you and disappear you and delete you for anything. I don't have a Patreon, no. Yeah, some people hated the fish skin clip. I think it triggers their perception of what food is. Oh no, some people hated the chicken cartilage crunching video. I think it just triggers people's perception of what food should be and is, and people who are not attuned to eating certain things get like weirded out by it, but that's kind of why I do these things, guys, to challenge you. To challenge your conception of what food can be, of what food is, of what qualifies as something that is edible. I thought about Patreon before, naturally. I just don't think it's quite the right move for me right now, but, oh, I cut that really wrong. Oops. But thank you for the suggestion. You definitely should not be watching my shorts to get me ad revenue. I do not want you to do that. I'm simply uploading for funsies. I hope some people get to enjoy them. Do not do anything just so I can get more ad revenue. It is a quite literal waste of your time and life. I just enjoy sharing things, and if you can delight in it, all the better. But thank you for the thought. Do not waste your life this way. I would much prefer you waste your life another way. You kept thinking I had a live. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for misleading you. I'm really good at doing that sometimes. Keeps you guessing, you know. Apparently that's how trauma bond. Yes, I'm still watching videos on narcissistic personality disorder relationships, but apparently that's how trauma bonding works, is when the narcissist gives you love and attention and then takes it away, but makes it in such an unpredictable pattern that your brain develops this dopamine rush, essentially, of not knowing when you'll be rewarded for their affection. So when I put up a short and you guys think it's alive, I'm basically cultivating a trauma bond. JK, I'm not. Not intentionally, at least. But now you'll be wondering, is she live or is it just a 10-second short? I'm glad you like the frozen nuts. They are one of my great life joys. Yeah, but I'm noticing in myself that I'm finally starting to not be so interested in the NPD videos anymore, which I think is good because it's showing me that I'm finally healing and mentally starting to detach. But it's taken a long time for me to get to this stage. I cannot believe how long it's taken me to get to this stage. And I really do regret getting myself into this situation in the first place, but I also don't regret it because I've learned. And life is all about learning, for better or for worse. How shall we waste our lives? That's on you, girl. You gotta figure that shit out. Do what you want to do. It's not really wasting your lives. It's doing what makes you feel like life is worth living. Because that's all we're trying to do here, is trying to make our time here feel like it's something, right? So whatever that means for you, I hope you find it. I hope you find several things worth doing. I think meaning making is essential to our species, for better or for worse, and it is deeply personal, and it's also a process and an adventure to figure out what brings you joy. So Not something I can dictate for you, but I hope you do find it. Is that a play on the lives term? I don't know. I didn't intend for it to be, but maybe the original asker did. Did my friend like the food, the tarts? The tarts that I made? Loved it. I think he ate them all in like 36 hours. Sandy, I'm so glad to hear that you recovered. It is hard. I'm learning more and more about human psychology through this journey of learning about NPD too. And it is helpful, I think. The most helpful part about learning about NPD is learning about your own triggers and desires and unfulfilled wishes and wants and insecurities too. Everything that you learn about someone else is also a reflection of yourself. I truly believe that everything that you do to other people is a reflection of what you do for yourself, to yourself, on a daily basis. It has been very important for me to hold something very dear to me that Samira told me when I was first going through this processing, that I was a kind person and the intentions of the other person was not completely pure for conscious and unconscious reasons, and that that should not discourage me from being kind to myself and to others in the future just because one person did not really treat me right. And I think I've been holding that very, very, very clearly at the top of my mind every day, is that not everyone will treat you the way you need and want to be treated. And it just means that you guys weren't a good fit. But I should not let that dissuade me from being who I am, because that would be the ultimate loss, is to lose yourself. So hello, Eileen. Welcome to today. I cannot wait to eat a snack. I'm hungry, which is a good sign. Because when you're not hungry, probably means your body is not doing well. NPD, as in not. Well, that's not a good word, because that can be spelled multiple ways. As in negative, NPD. Hello, St. Petersburg. How's it going over there? Samira is a wise one. I am so thankful to have her in my life. She's helped me so fucking much in so many areas of my life. Absolutely thankful for her presence. Somebody text me? Somebody email me. You can hear the honks? Oh boy. They are non-stop in this neighborhood. barbecue side dish. My favorite is potato salad. I love grilled corn, boiled corn, whatever corn, corn salad. I love freshly cut fruits at barbecues. I love some kind of bean situation. Could be baked beans, could be a bean salad. I just love beans. I love beans. Some sort of dessert. Dessert would be great. I guess that's not a side dish, but it is for me. Sometimes dessert is the entree, honestly. Strawberry shortcakes would be amazing. Little bites of something too, like little brownie bites. Is potato chip a snack or a side dish? It's also a side dish for me if you put out a dip with it. Tortilla chips. Oh my god. You're making me so hungry. I believe German potato salad does not have mayo in it. Is that correct? It's vinaigrette based? Macaroni salad. I usually hate macaroni salad, but I can see it working at a cookout barbecue. We're gonna try to stuff a lot of filling into this last square because I don't feel like rolling out another dough. It might go horribly, we'll see. Did not show you up close yet. It's a lot of filling. Do not ever put this much filling. If your filling exceeds 40% of the square surface area, you're asking for trouble, which I am absolutely asking for trouble right now. But I think we can manage it. I've never made Creole or Cajun food, no, sadly. How many dumplings am I making in a year? Well, considering that I give grandma 6 to 7 dumplings, let's just say 365 times 7. Or how about 350 times 7? What's that math? I can't do math right now. Somebody do math for me, please. I'm sorry. My brain just hurts. She just never tires of dumpling, you know? So she consistently loves it, and I feel like life is so fucking boring and bleak for her. I'm just gonna give her dumplings. That's the least I can do. She loves dumplings. She gets even tired of the Chinese donuts sometimes, but it seems like she never tires of the dumplings. She always eats them in a rush when I bring them. So thank you for doing the math about that many dumplings. Okay, snack time, and then maybe cake time? How are we doing on battery? 58%. Great. That only took an hour. Guys, I think I'm getting faster at this shit, maybe. Remember the first time I made dumplings for like 2.5 hours. So practice, practice, practice. Jalapeno cornbread sounds good too. Oh my gosh, Celine, you're going to Chengdu? One of my favorite food cities in the entire fucking world. Make sure you eat everything. Please eat everything. Also, Chengdu has the best green mung bean cakes I've ever had. In all parts of China, they have some variation of this. I grew up with Chinese ones. I grew up with Beijing ones. They're like really dry. And then I grew up with ones from Xi'an, and they're really oily. But Chengdu has like mastered the balance of dry and oily. They're just so tender and perfectly moist, and once you bite down into it, it transforms into this very smooth paste in your mouth that's neither choky nor dusty nor fatty. I don't know. It was just so good. It was so perfect. God, I miss those mung bean cakes. Oh. Oh God. Why did you remind me of that? Now I'm gonna like lust for it for the rest of the night. Sad. I'm very sad. Very sad. Oh. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Okay. I have leftover sorghum noodles, which you saw in the H Mart haul, and I have some leftover cooked fish balls. This is unseasoned. I ate a seasoned version of this for breakfast lunch today, but I don't know how I'm gonna season this. And I think I kind of want it cold. Is it something I can make for myself? Maybe, but it's intensely labor intensive. Brain cannot brain right now. Okay. I'm kind of tempted to just mayo and ketchup it. Is that too boring, guys? Is that too disgusting and boring? I kind of just want it. I just want it. Fuck it. It just feels right. Preventing aspirational produce from going bad in the fridge. Cook it. That's it. Why did you buy it? I'm going to chop it up first, like I'm a freaking kid. Like you chop up spaghetti and meatballs for a kid. That's what I'm doing for myself, because the age has come for me to mother myself, and I must mother myself in all the ways I need to now. I also, yes, out of sight, out of mind is also true for me, so do not put it away in the crisper drawer. You will forget about it. Just cook it when you get it home. Do something with it when you get it home. Even if you don't cook it to finish, wash it. Do one step. Get one step closer to actually using it, and it'll make it much harder for you to ignore it. Wait, you make mung bean cakes? Oh man, okay. Maybe I should make it. I always feel like I need molds. Does what taste different than grape? Oh, guys. Fish balls are a little bit bouncy, a little bit like those rubber balls that you get in the quarter vending machines, but hopefully if they're good, they're tender and not extremely plasticky. But they do have some sort of rubbery plastic qualities to them, which is why I like them. Some of them can be spongier than others. Oh, I think somebody explained the difference between Japanese mayo and mayo earlier up in the thread. But Kewpie has MSG in it. Does okra take extra effort? I think you just wash it and trim off the stem, kind of like how you would asparagus, and then you slice it up and you cook it, right? So, I'm running low. Thank goodness I have another bottle in the cupboard. Never run out of Kewpie. Did you know that okra can be used to induce abortions? Fun fact. Okay, I'll have to make mung bean paste cakes for myself one day then. Oh my god, what are you doing? Are you stuck? Oh, there we go. Great. I also really like pickled okra, fried okra. Those are great. Using our shovel. The sliminess is really healthy apparently. It's the same kind of slime agent that you find in oatmeal. That kind of mucilaginous quality is really good for lowering cholesterol. My mom used to feed it to me. It's an acquired taste. You just really have to open yourself up to experience it instead of judging it beforehand, like so many things in life. But easier said than done, right? I also used to hate okra, but now I have positive associations to all the foods that mom used to cook for me and is no longer here to cook for me. Bitter melon I've learned to like too, so. Chinese mountain yam, yeah, absolutely. That's another food that mom used to cook for me too. That shit is really weird. It's like crunchy but slimy. Ugh. Natto looks very gross. Yes. Natto is one of the grossest looking foods. But it is fermented and it is really healthy for you. It's apparently even an acquired taste for some Japanese people too. So, you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. You don't gotta force yourself, but you should try it once. I like. Let's think about. Hey. I have these little peaches. They smell so good. And I like eating them on its own, but I also think they would bake really well. Okra doesn't have a huge flavor on its own, but I would argue that a lot of vegetables don't. Yeah, okra is huge in the South. Huge. I think okra seeds were brought over by enslaved people. Am I right? So that's why it's huge in the South. We had a whole lot of slavery all over the country, but especially in the South. I want to make a cornmeal cake. I also want to use some of our almond meal that we made last time. Or maybe a gluten-free cake. We'll see how that goes. We'll use up some of Grandma's milk. Oh God, I don't feel great. I want to put some guava paste in here too. I think this is gonna be really weird and delicious. Guava, peach, pear. Guava, peach, pear. Corn, almond. How shall we flavor this? My computer's running out of battery. I'm gonna charge it. I think I want some coconut oil as our fat in this. So let's see. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom. Keep going. Keep going. What other spices? I'm a mess. I'm a joke. I don't know where that noodle fell. Whoops. I was also thinking ginger, yeah. Maybe some freshly ground ginger? Hi, Jess. Wait, I saw lavender, rosemary. That sounds like a lot. Especially with my guava paste. I think the guava paste will have a very distinctive flavor. Rosemary is interesting. Maybe? YOLO. All right, ginger and rosemary. We're gonna go in with some coconut oil. I'm not writing this down. You can if you want. I'm gonna go in with 60 grams. Right? We'll go in with a little bit of salt. Everything bagel seasoning. Good try. Good try. We have some of this Calvados soaked raisin that I refuse to get rid of, so we're just gonna wash it out with some milk. Have I ever used dandelion powder? No, I have not. We're gonna go in with some sugar. We'll go in with 85 grams of sugar. It's about 1/3 of a cup. Maybe a little more actually. Not quite half a cup and a little more than 1/3 of a cup. I'm just going to stir them together a little bit. I don't really need to cream them. They're not really going to cream anyway, but okay. I'm going to cut in the pear. I'll let you know how much pear butter to put in. So just a reminder, this pear was turning ripe. I froze it because I didn't want them to rot. Then I blended it, pureed it, and cooked it down into a pear butter, and now it's getting baked. So it's gone through 3 forms of manipulative transformation. It is a survivor. It continues to live on. We give thanks to the pear. That was about 148 grams, which is a little over half of a cup. It is quite delicious. Very, very, very delicious. Yum. I'm going to add in a little bit of baking powder and baking soda I'm also gonna add in some flax seeds because we don't have a binder. So I think I'm gonna go in with about a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, just guesstimating. The milk will kind of react with it. And then I'm gonna go in with about 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And I'll go in with about 1 tablespoon of flax. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Milk, we're going in. That was 80 grams, so 1/3 cup. We might not need more because there's a lot of pear puree in here, pear butter. So I don't want to make it too moist. Or else we might just have cake pudding, which honestly doesn't sound terrible. We should add jujubes in here. Give it a Chinese flair. Guys, jujubes are also really good for periods. It's already puffing up because the milk is reacting with the baking soda. You can see it change the texture a lot. Okay, we're gonna go in with the cornmeal now. Let's do 80 grams. And see how that looks. That was 82 grams. The food scale is called AccuWeight, A-C-C-U weight. It was just bought on Amazon many years ago. I don't really recommend it one way or another. It works fine. The buttons are a little wonky. I think things got a little bit gluey behind the buttons at one point, and so I'm gonna go to 90 grams. And then we'll go in with a little bit of almond flour. That was 93 grams total of cornmeal. And then we'll go in with $30 of almond meal. We might need more, we'll see. Oh, I'm liking this texture. I like this texture a lot. That almond meal smells amazing. Wow. Okay. All right. Now we will have peach in there too. So let me do a little more almond. Let me go up to 50 grams. Perfect. Excuse me. Okay. 50 grams total of almond meal. And then I'm gonna cut up some jujubes and cut up the pears, which is great because it'll give us some time to let this batter sit. All gluten-free batters should have some soaking time so that it hydrates itself well enough. Oh, you know what? First things first though, we should taste it. No eggs in here, so contamination is only coming from the cornmeal for the most part. Delightful. Delightful. Wow. That sweetness is on point. I love the rosemary hint in there. That is is really good. Thank you guys for the rosemary tip. Okay. Jujubes, Chinese dried dates. They have a pit in the middle, so we're gonna have to de-pit and free them first. I love them so much. They're like foamy and squishy. They're not like nougat the way that Middle Eastern dates, dried dates are. They're more like taffy, almost, like lighter. Come closer. Come, my child. One of my favorite things about Budget Eats was that I learned something new every time from the comments, whether or not it was people correcting my pronunciation of a food item or tips on how a certain ingredient is used in their home country. And this remains one of my favorite features about holding these lives, is that everybody teaches me something every time. I love it. Thank you for continuing to support my learning in life. Very chaotic chopping here. Everything is chaos today. I think I'll just go for 2 more. Yeah, it is foamy and spongy. Absolutely right. A little bit sticky, a little bit sweet, a little bit medicinally tasting. It's nice to have strangers in my world too, I think. It's given me a lot more faith in humans, for how strange that may sound, but just the way that like strangers can build each other up in addition to tearing each other down has been very fortifying for me to experience. So thank you for supplementing my optimism. If dates are too sweet for you, you need to discover eating them with peanut butter. So I would say that was maybe a 1/4 cup of dried jujubes. Not a whole lot. Just enough to have a little surprise in a single bite maybe. I probably would have gone more if I had any more desire to cut things, but I don't. All right, time to look for a baking vessel. I don't feel like doing a muffin, but we could do a pie dish or a cake dish. Maybe a cake dish is better. I think this feels appropriate. Yes? Yes. I'm trying to get rid of my can of Pam. I normally don't use Pam. I bought this when I worked at Delish and we Pammed everything. It's running very low, so. Great. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna pit the peaches. Or we're gonna try to pit the peaches. Nope, they're too ripe. Okay, let's try this another way. I'm basically trying to segment them, so I've cut them into eighths, and I'm going to try to tease out one wedge at a time, like that. And after you get the first wedge out, it should be easier to pull out second wedges. I'll do that again. It won't work with peaches unless they're entirely ripe, and these are. I was very lucky. I found this deal, 4 peaches for $1 outside of the subway station in Jackson Heights. Isn't that something? And they turned out to be some of the best peaches I've had in many, many years. Very thankful. What happens if you don't wash them? You eat disgusting things that are tagging along with them, I guess. See, this pear is ripe enough where I can just peel the skin right off. Okay, cut them into eighths. I shimmy the knife in one wedge and lift it from the core. We're gonna eat this baby slice. Mmm. Oh, so good. Man, a good peach just simply makes my day. They're so hard to get too. Apparently the Northeast is going to suffer a bit this year in terms of summer crop season because we had a late freeze, which is very sad, but at least I get to enjoy a beautiful peach. Cutting around 4 times to yield 8 wedges. Shimmying the knife, plopping the wedge. I think these are peaches. Maybe they are nectarines, I don't know. I think they are peaches though because they're fuzzy. I don't think nectarines are supposed to be fuzz. I don't know where they're from. This man was just selling fruit outside of the subway station, and these tiny peaches were 4 for $1, and I picked one up and it just felt right. You ever pick up a stone fruit and it just feels right, like the perfect amount of give, and then you smell it, you lift it up to your nose, and you're like, holy crap, this smells like something? This is the world we live in now, where things don't smell like they should. All the food that we grow. Oh, you're so right. I should have added some sugar to the bottom of the pan. Oops. I guess I can do that now. But it won't form a caramel as perfectly as it could have now. Sad. Ta-da! We're just gonna dust it very lightly with sugar because the cake batter is already sweet enough. I don't really want to overdose it. So I'm gonna go with granulated sugar here. No reason other than I just felt like it. So that's 1 tablespoon, and I think I'll just go with another tablespoon, and that should be it. Alright, next we're gonna add the cake batter. How's our battery doing? 39%. We're gonna try to add it in dollops so that we don't have to smush and mess up our peach pattern on the bottom too much. Evenly distribute it so that all we have to do is kind of pat lightly to spread instead of moving the batter around to spread. If this ends up being a delicious cake, we're gonna have to rewatch this live and write down the recipe. Not that anyone's gonna make pear butter, but hey. There have been more difficult to find ingredients than pear butter. I would also assume you can substitute apple butter or any kind of fruit paste, I guess. Cheese toast with guava paste sounds delicious. I made more guava tarts. We can eat a bite while we bake this cake, but I do need to go get my rechargeable battery. Okay, now we can spread it a little bit. And don't worry, I didn't forget the guava paste. It's going on top. Okay. And actually, I have some leftover cream cheese from making those guava tarts again. So I think we can spread that on top too. Okay? So we're just gonna taste this batter. Oh, I didn't measure the rosemary or the ginger, but I would say a 1-inch knob of ginger freshly grated, and then I would say a ½ teaspoon of dried rosemary. I can't believe you guys are so dedicated. This is why I love absolute internet strangers. They do the wildest shit sometimes, either for me or for each other or for themselves, but I really just enjoy you guys like getting so into these with me. It feels like I'm truly cooking with someone. Feels less lonely, which is always the goal, isn't it? We're just terrified of being lonely people. All right, it is time to turn on our oven. We're gonna bake this at my oven's 350, which means it's probably your oven's 370, somewhere around there. Guava pasting and cream cheesing. just a little bit of cream cheese. Let's think about how to arrange this. Guys, how would you define an introvert versus an extrovert? Nail in the Fashion. Nail in the Fashion left me a really sweet comment that absolutely made my day. So thank you for that comment. Thank you for leaving me a comment that made my day. I don't think I'm an extrovert because I think Leos are too high energy for me. So there we have it. So do all extroverts like being the center of attention? Well, thank you for your kind words. I really did appreciate it. Made me feel quite fulfilled. Even though we're not supposed to be living for external validation, I was thinking about this the other day. You know, I feel like our societal dictation on how we should be focused on our inner validation rather than external validation is actually just another arm of our increasing individualism, because I think what it's led us to believe in is that external validation doesn't matter. But guys, at the end of the day, we're social animals. External validation matters to us. And to deny that external validation is not something that we need is kind of silly. It's kind of silly in the way that like people push therapy as the end-all be-all cure-all. And I just don't think our world works in that way, you know? Feel free to disagree with me on this. I'm not saying to base your entire life on external validation. Obviously, that's not healthy either. But to strike a balance between giving yourself internal validation and also to allow this desire for external validation. I think to reject the narrative that we need external validation from time to time is to deny a very human part of ourselves. And it like makes us feel guilty that we want external validation when I think it's a very normal and unavoidable thing to want. Now, if I had enough energy to pipe this cream cheese out into strips, I would, but currently I don't have that energy. So we're just gonna do our best. We're gonna whip it around a little bit to soften it. And obviously I don't have enough to go do strips anyway. It's just like 2 tablespoons left in here. By the way, this is a honey pecan cream cheese. It does not taste like pecans at all. I like the little dots idea. I'm gonna do it. Thank you for that idea. I don't know how they're gonna bake, but that's extremely adorable. So cute. Wow. Sometimes I think I can be focused on the end result of a thing without thinking about what making that thing's process is making me feel. Right now, I think this dolloping is giving me great joy that I had not expected to experience today. So, for that I am also grateful. Thank you for all these great ideas. Perfect timing, look at that. And this external versus internal validation, I was thinking about it because I was like, why am I so not motivated to edit my videos anymore? And you know what? I think it's time to admit this out loud. It's because I don't think the recent videos that I've been putting out, like not getting a ton of views is demotivating for me, which, you know, is sad because I want to think that I'm making the videos for myself. But, you know, when you're making a video to put on a platform like YouTube, you're definitely not just making it for yourself, you're making it for an audience. And to feel like that audience doesn't really seem interested impacts your desire to continue making stuff. And I'm not saying I'm going to stop making videos, don't freak out, I will keep making videos because I've decided for right now in my life, I want this to be more of a hobby than anything. So, okay, beautiful. Enjoy the process? Yes, exactly. I'm trying to enjoy the process. Okay, we're going into the oven. Oh shit, I forgot to take out sheet trays like an idiot. All right. Okay, whoops, sorry guys, sorry. Okay, we're going to bake it for 20 minutes. And now I have to recharge you. Yay! You're charging. It's good to want to be seen as long as you don't base all your value on the video's performance. Yes, working on it, for sure. We gotta take our antibiotics now too. I'm gonna finish eating our chopped spaghetti. Our meatballs and spaghetti. Guys, this is my meatballs and spaghetti, I just realized. It's fish balls and sorghum noodle, but I'm also gonna load up the dishwasher and start cleaning up. Why am I on antibiotics? My tummy's not doing great. Ooh, okay. I think in the last 10 minutes we can toast some oats while the oven is on. But I have to remember. Set a 10-minute timer. We love robots. Hi, UK. Does buying spices through your link get you some money? Yes, I get 10% of your sales. But please do not, oh guys, I forgot the sourdough. I forgot the sourdough discard. Shit, whatever. Do not buy spices, just get me money. But do get spices if you want to get spices. And yes, I do have favorite spices. Sitting down is amazing. It feels great. Yeah, we'll have to make sourdough crackers too. Let me fridge that sourdough. So I really don't, I don't want to feed it anymore. We'll make something with it this week. What are favorite spices from Burlap and Barrel? This is their #1 seller. Oh, my phone tripod. Can't take you to the shelf because you're charging, but there's cinnamon, super good, super sweet, tastes like there's sugar in it, there's not. I really like this. This is called Smoke and Herb. It's a marijuana reference. It's a collaboration with Ghetto Gastro. Think of it as like a very full-bodied Italian seasoning. Fermented white pepper, Salina crystal salt, fennel, shallot, thyme, oregano, mint, chipotle, black pepper. There's a little bit of a heat to it, but you don't really feel heated. It just adds that kind of chipotle background singer flavor. Comes in a little grinder, you grind it on top. I don't love the grinder. I don't think it gives me a very satisfying grind because everything in there is so lightweight. This is all collaborations. This top one is Bon Appetit. I used the Everything Nice baking spice. It was really good in, oh shit. Oh, it was really good in the almond butter that we made, guys. This was really good in the almond butter. So the almond butter married in the fridge and it tastes like winter holidays now. It's so warming and comforting, and it makes me feel like it's November, end of November. Smoky, spicy and smoky grilling rub. It's like very chunky and salty. I wouldn't say this is one of my favorites, but if you like grilling or if you like that kind of grill, peppery, spicy, salty combo, this is a good one. Umami blend, I'm feeling meh about it. I don't really know how to use it quite yet to really harness its power, so it's not appealing to me. This one you can literally eat as a snack. It's like crunchy kimchi chips. Pizza Party literally smells like a pizzeria when you have that, I can smell it through the cap, when you have that little spice cadet with like onion or garlic powder and Parmesan cheese and crushed red chili pepper flakes and oregano. It smells exactly like that. It's a little bit spicier than I would have expected it, especially given that I'm guessing white Americans are buying this. It's like pretty spicy. They do have a saffron, yes. But this one I love. If you love ranch powder, delicious. This you can shake onto everything. It's amazing on popcorn. It's amazing on chips. It's amazing on top of an egg, any which way you cook it. So good. It has buttermilk solids, onion powder, sea salt, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, dried chives, dried dill, sugar, fermented white pepper, black pepper. Love this one. Here we have our, this is just turning into a huge burlap and barrel show off. Here we have our greens. This is the rosemary that you just saw me put into the cake. Really nice flavor. If you like mint, this one is so minty and sweet. And I've used it in a cookie. It tastes very interesting and sweet things. You can use it in salad dressing. I just like smelling it, honestly. It smells like spearmint gum in not an artificial way, just like that kind of sweet minty freshness. The dill and parsley is actually really delicious. Great on eggs, on rice, on anything as a topping. You can make a soup with it if you put it in a broth. Green garlic scapes. I'm having a hard time knowing how to use this. I mostly just boil it in a broth, and it does steep the flavor in, but on its own, you can't really use it as a topping. It's like very crunchy and they're very coarse, so it kind of like chips your tooth kind of feeling. It won't, but it might. Some people love the Tokyo negi scallions. They're like fat scallions, but I'm not personally a huge fan of this one, so. I would love a burlap and barrel video with recipes in which you use the spices. Yeah, I could, but then it would just feel like too much of an ad, you know, which I feel like this is already trending on, but. I don't mind using it in everyday cooking, but I think to devote an entire video to the spices would just feel too addy. Too addy. Okay, here we have some chili selection. Red jalapeno, very hot. My doctor tells me not to eat spicy. Habanero chili, Aaron loves this one, so you know that it's spicy if Aaron loves it. Kashmiri chili, really nice. It's like a very confident cayenne that has a very soft edge to it. It's fragrant, it has a beautiful red color, and I would say it's a companion piece to the hot paprika that I'm in love with. If I could only choose one in these 6, I might go with the Raza, which is a collaboration. It's crushed red pepper, but it's not just crushed red pepper, it's a blend. It has silk chili, which also has sunflower oil and salt in it, habanero chili, sweet paprika, and smoked paprika. So, but I'm particular to this hot paprika. I think it tastes so good. It tastes like a combination of red bell pepper, fresh pepperiness with the heat of a dried cayenne. The smoked chipotle is a very classic, on-point smoked chipotle. It's very, let me just smell it so I can give you a more in-depth description. But if you're not signed up for the newsletter, you missed out on all of my descriptions of the chili collection. Womp womp. It smells like apple-cured bacon. This smells like very good dry-aged apple-cured bacon. So good. I appreciate the recommendation for the video ideas. I do. I'm not trying to like shoot you down for giving me ideas. I'm just trying to like tame expectations. You can sign up for the newsletter if you go to burlapandbarrel.com, and they'll probably have a pop-up that comes on the right side of the page that says sign up for our newsletter, and then you just sign up. Okay, we have a medley of things here. King caraway, toasted onions, caramelized onions, sweet pepper flakes. These have no heat. They're very interesting. They almost taste like flakes of sun-dried tomato. They're super fruity, really great on eggs. I also just really like chewing on them. They don't have a crisp to them the way that the kimchi flakes do, but they almost taste like dried bits of candy, like pepper candy. So fun. I would say, I haven't tried the caraway, and I haven't really cooked with the smoked star anise, but the smoked star anise smells really good. It's like, think star anise, but clarified in gin form. Like when you open up a bottle of gin, that smell that wafts out of the bottle, like really good gin, like a $48 to $67. Oop, that was scary. That was my timer. A $48 to $67 bottle of gin. That price range of gin, combined with star anise smell, combined with like maybe 12 to 16% mesquite wood chips. It smells really good. I haven't cooked with it. But this surprised me. I never liked bay leaves. This is a ground bay leaf powder. They have 2 bay leaves. I haven't tried the other one, but this Caribbean bay leaf has such an unusual smell to it. It smells like cloves, which I think makes sense, because I think in Jamaican cooking, they have cloves and allspice, that kind of sweet warming spice. This reminds me of the smell of cloves. I've never smelled this smell before, so when I like smelled it and used it, I was like, oh. Okay, we're gonna cook some oats now, so pause in the spice show off. And time to check up on our cake and see how it's doing. I've been making some overnight oats with yogurt. So delicious.
which is a total of 20, is perfect. Perfect. Okay, Sandy, I gotta be honest with you, I can't make granola. You know why? Because when I make granola, I eat all of the granola, I feel sick, and then I fart really bad farts. Dried oatmeal makes me toxic. The farts smell so bad. Let's take our anti-bees before I forget. Pretty. I love the color of these pills. They make it feel much less horrible than it is. I haven't been taking vitamins. I don't really I don't want to take that many. Turmeric and black pepper and overnight oats. Interesting. Oh, God. Does anyone else get really bad burps from antibiotics? I've been having really intense burping sessions. Bye, Benjamin. Thank you for joining. Here we have whole fenugreek and ground fenugreek. Very, very bitter out of the jar. Best bloomed in butter in my experience. This one I like to just put in any sort of lentils, stews. Gives it a nice curry floral flavor. Not my favorite. We're going with my favorites. This 5-spice though, very different from Chinese 5-spice. Super spicy, almost tastes salty. There is no salt in there. It's not a 5-spice. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 9-spice. It has star anise, cinnamon, ginger, chili pepper, clove, black pepper, cardamom, fennel seed, and prickly ash peppercorns, aka similar to like Sichuan peppercorn, but it might be like a Vietnamese one because this is an origin blend from Hanoi, which means there's 4 origin blends currently at Burlap and Barrel. It just means that all of the spices in the jar come from a single place. So Herbe de Provence, this one does not have lavender in it. This is another origin blend. I don't really know French cooking, so this is just like a mixed herb blend for me. It's really good, but it doesn't make me feel any particular way. The purple dulse and the Icelandic kelp, I think out of the two, if you like seaweed flavors, they're really good. This one has a finer grind on it, so and this one has a flakier grind on it. I don't remember. I think I preferred one over the other, but also not my favorites. I don't love. It's kind of like salt-free furikake. So every time I eat these, I'm just like, needs MSG. Okay. We have the Nigella seed. This is some of the, I've only had Patel Brothers Nigella seed. This one tastes way better. It's got like an oniony sweet and fragrance to it, but a little bit bitter if you chew on it directly, but it was great in crackers. Aaron loved it. They look like little black sesame seeds. Hi, Jamaica. The black mustard, also not as bitter as black mustard that I've had elsewhere. I put this in a nut brittle. It adds a little pop and crunch. I have not had any experience with the grains of paradise. Let's check up on our cake. I think I need to poke it with a toothpick. See, another burp. So many burps. I used to be a fart girl and now I'm a burp girl. I don't know which one's better. Nigella and hummus, really, I've never had. Interesting. Oh, she ain't done. She wibbly wobbly. All right, I'm gonna go 5 more minutes just for the oats so they don't burn. But I think the cake might need longer. I think we had too much moisture in there. Okay, continuing on. Wild Mountain Cumin, absolute favorite. This is their second top seller, I believe. This is the best cumin I've had. Barring the cumin spice mix that I remember from my childhood in Beijing that they had at every single like Muslim skewer stand. Obviously that is tied to childhood memory, but as far as cumin that I've had in the States, they all taste kind of like dingy and dusty. This one is just like pure explosion of cumin flavor. It smells glorious. It tastes glorious, and also they're tiny compared to most cumin seeds that I've seen in stores here. They're so tiny. Do you see that? They look like they've been ground, but that's actually just how small the seeds are. So I think it's like very much a different variety of cumin. I do have a small fortune in spices, yes. I'm very #blessed. The cured sumac is good if you like bright, lemony, citrusy flavors. It's basically like citric acid in a way. The Red River coriander, very good. If you like coriander, I love coriander. So I've had good coriander everywhere. I would say this one is like probably 20% better than the bougie brand that I've had at Whole Foods. It just, you can smell the fragrance on these even through the lid sometimes. But I would say out of here, cumin for sure is my favorite. Okay, we are going down here. Some of these I have not cooked with yet, like the lemongrass. Smells great, like lemongrass. Haven't cooked with it yet, haven't even opened yet. Black lime, it's like dried flakes, and it's a little bit puckery. And it smells a little bit like Chinese dried plums to me. It's just pure sun-dried lime. And I don't love it, but you know what I do love? This. The black lime and chili salt. This is basically like tahini, but better. You can see that the salt is chunky. I put this on potato chips and it makes them taste like the hint of lime. Tostitos, or yeah, Tostitos tortilla chips. The za'atar, I've actually not tried, but everybody gushes about the za'atar, so I really should. Tomato powder you've seen me use before. I love it. I love all things tomato. And the sweet paprika is probably the best sweet paprika I've ever had. It's not really spicy. It's just very pure and very mildly present. So I should really, you know what, let's taste the za'atar now. I'm tired of not having tasted it yet, while hearing everybody say it's the best they've ever had. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay, so one pet peeve that I cannot complain about, because they just simply pack this jar filled with product, but they pack it so full that when you have a product that is so finely ground, it doesn't come out of the shaker for the first couple of times. It's just like packed to the top. So now I have to unlid and tap. All right, taste test coming up. I'm excited. See if it lives up to the hype. Ooh, it is by far the most citrusy za'atar I've ever had, for sure. Immediately bright. Okay, I don't know if it's the best za'atar I've ever had, but I think because of how citrus, I think the best za'atar I might have had was when I worked at Barbola Nut, but I don't know where they sourced it or where it came from. But this is way more citrusy than that za'atar, I feel like, which I feel like this would do so well when people do an olive oil dip for their bread and they like to have za'atar on the side. This one would tame that oiliness of the oil, and pair really well with fatty things. I think I need to eat it with something other than my spaghetti and meatballs. I'm smelling the oats, which means they're baking and toasting and ready to come out. Just mildly toasted, not even golden yet, but I smell them, so that's good enough for me. Cake is still caking. Let's cake it 5 minutes more. So that's 10 minutes at a time to our original 20, which checks out, I think. Okay. So out of this selection of 6, I would say my favorite currently is between the black lime chili salt and the tomato powder. This one I think I can use in a lot of applications, but this one is just so ready to use on everything as a seasoning and topping. So, bye Godzilla Pie. Makeup. I'm a makeup guru with spices. Okay, we're heading into more collaborations now. These are the 3 Zhongkung spices. We have the Master Stock, which kind of tastes like a Chinese 5-spice to me. We have the Smoldering Embers, which has coriander, urfa chili, cumin, smoked star anise, black cardamom, bay leaf, and garlic. This one tastes like a smokier version of the 5-spice. But this one, I would say, is my favorite out of the collaboration. It's a shimmer salt. It has salt, Timor pepper, and black lime. So it has a bit of a citrusy kick to it, and the Timor pepper smells like gorgeous. It just smells like gorgeous. So, yes. And I came in late, Christina says. It's June selling spices for a commission now. I do have an affiliate link, so I do get 10% if you buy it through that link. But no, I'm just introducing spices that I have in my vast array of spices. Because y'all wanted to see my spices. There's a lot. What else do we have here? I'm bringing you here because I don't want to keep walking back and forth. I'm tired. This is the Floyd Cardos collection. So basically 6 masalas. The one missing here is the chopped masala because I was tasting it for this week's newsletter. Hi Croatia. I would say I really like the green tikka masala when I tried it when Ram came over. I was never really a fan of garam masala, but I think this is a solid one if you like garam masala, but I'm just like not a huge fan of it. And I think the vindaloo is really good. So I think these 2 are my favorites. You're right, those are really good eyeshadow names. I never thought about it that way. We have the Ileana Maisonette collaborations. We have adobo and sazon. I'm not really tuned into like Puerto Rican cooking or cuisine, so I'm not very well versed in these 2. This one is very turmeric heavy. This one is, you can also taste the turmeric in it, but it has, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but achiote. It's like a red coloring agent, but it also has a slightly bitter note to it that adds a very intriguing flavor when it gets cooked. You'll notice that a lot of spices have bitter undernotes to them, but once you cook them, it transforms that flavor into a milder marriage. So achiote has that bitterness, nigella has that bitterness, Fenugreek has that bitterness. Oh, how do you say it? Achiote. Achiote. Thank you. We have two Reams collaborations that, shame on me, I haven't tried yet, but this one is so good. It's a Kofte Baharat. It's their third origin blend that we've seen today. It's basically used on like Turkish meatballs, meats, and skewers, and it has black urfa, silk chili, cumin, allspice, garlic, sea salt, sunflower seed oil. This one is delicious. If you're looking for a nice little spicy, savory, colorful rainbow of a seasoning, this one is great. Oh God, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. We're almost through. We're almost done. We're almost done with my spice collection. Boop. Are you done? Almost? 5 more minutes? Okay, you got it. So 35 minutes, I think. 35 minutes and we'll be done. I don't want to overbake it. Back to our spices. Okay, here we go. This is the Fundamentals collection. The one that's missing here is the Royal Cinnamon you saw earlier. So these are what they recommend for beginners who want to cook. They have a flowering hyssop thyme. This thyme is really special. I had another thyme earlier. It's a fine classic thyme, the Mountain Taurus. Is that called the Mountain Taurus? Taurus Mountain. Taurus Mountain, very classic thyme. This flowering hyssop thyme has lavender notes to it. It also has like these gorgeous purple tinged, almost like flowers in it. So that's what I think makes me think lavender too. I think it's a really special thyme. It can work, I think, in baked goods too with a sweet flavoring. This is the other bay leaf, the laurel bay leaf from Turkey. I haven't tried this one yet. I'm not a huge bay leaf consumer. Their smoked paprika is very smoky. Beware. This is very strong. This is intensely smoked. Silk chili, one of their Turkish specialties. Silk chili has sunflower seed, oil, and salt. It's a very mildly spicy but seasoned chili flake, so I think it works well on topping eggs and hummus and anything that just needs a little extra bump of salt, fat, acid heat. Purple striped garlic is just their classic garlic powder. I've used it, but like I never really taste garlic powder on its own, so I can't really give you a good description of it. But the reviews are good, so customers are happy. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites to smell. This is one of my favorites to taste. This is just one of my favorites. It is amazing. It smells and tastes like powdered caramelized onion shallot. It's so sweet and fragrant. Have you ever had like the Maui sweet onion or barbecue chips? There's like a brand of Hawaiian potato chips, and they have like a sweet onion chip. This reminds me of that seasoning on there. I love it so much. So I think currently my favorites are the cumin, the purple shallot powder, the ranch, the Raza crushed red peppers. I would say this one is really good if you want herby. I would say this one is my go-to for herby. Okay, we're almost done. We only have a few more. Okay. Kitchen pepper. I describe this as a 5-spice with black pepper. So a little bit of a slight tingly heat 5-spice. We have the God's Love We Deliver collabs, which is herbs and sumac, which I have not opened yet, so I cannot give you a review. And the cocoa and spice, which we put in the almond butter, loved it too. So it has cocoa, mesquite, royal cinnamon, and vanilla. So I feel like this will give you kind of like a brownie delight feel to it. And that ends our tour, guys. That's it. I feel very dizzy. I'm gonna sit. Okay. That was a lot of energy. I'm gonna turn the oven off and I'm gonna let it sit in there for 5 more minutes. And in the meantime, we can eat our crostata that I promised you I would eat. The ranch just came back too. Some of these things sell out really fast. We're gonna eat frozen pastries. We're gonna eat the crostata that I baked yesterday. And we're gonna eat the oatmeal cookies. Do you remember when I made the oatmeal cookies that fell apart? They're so good frozen because they're so moist that they're so good frozen. It's got cream cheese in the middle, guava paste around the end. I think the black lime date sugar is sold out, and I don't think they're bringing it back anytime soon, but don't quote me on that. But I think they've been sold out of that. Another bite, please. It's just like straight cream cheese now. Frozen cream cheese. This would make Mom so happy. She used to buy the Entenmann's French Deluxe cheesecake, which apparently they discontinued, and it shatters me because I wanted to eat one in her memory, but they don't have it anymore. She used to love putting it in the freezer and eating it in the freezer, like straight from the freezer. Cream cheese is good frozen. So satisfying. My link to B&B I think should be in the description box. Let me know if it works. We've had mishaps before. I don't know, the spaghetti and meatballs were kind of my dinner, and now we're gonna have cake and pastries, so. I think the last one available was probably a glitch. Sorry to get your hopes up. Sometimes the website is glitchy. It's a very small team. I think there's like a little over a dozen people, maybe 20 max, and most of us are part-time. So it's amazing that they can run such a smooth operation with such a small team, and the customer service is really fucking good, guys. They have like a team of 2 people who are dedicated to customer service and a couple more who tag themselves in to divide the labor up. And it's real people talking to you, so. Oh, you don't see the link? I'm sorry. Does everyone else see the link in the description box? I'm tech challenged, guys. I'm a boomer now, okay? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Obviously. So, okay. We're gonna eat the oatmeal cookie now. That's the oatmeal cookie. Very spready brown edges, very chewy taffy center. Wow, that's a huge piece. If you've not had frozen pastries before, you should try it. I wouldn't recommend frozen cake. Frozen cake's kind of weird. But frozen brownies, frozen cream cheese danishes, frozen chewy fudgy cookies. Gen X does not exist. LOL. Especially if it's like a super buttery edge cookie. It's like so chewy. I love it. Delicious. Thanks for Bina. I'll be back for these in a couple of hours. You exist. You exist. I think you guys, Gen X is like the generation that hasn't caused trouble, hasn't really garnered hate. They're kind of like the middle child. They get neglected a lot. So unless they become problematic presences to get more attention, nobody really cares for them, especially one way or another, because they've just learned to like walk the middle path, which is the road to enlightenment, guys. You're the enlightened generation. You don't cause drama. You just withhold yourself in the storm that is the world, and you keep on walking. A formidable generation that is silenced not because of their inadequacy, but because of their competency. Or as a chef that I used to work for used to tell me, no news is good news. If I don't tell you you're doing something right, it means you're doing great. Cheers. Girl, it's a perfect bake. How long was that? 35? 40? I'll show you what a perfect bake looks like to me. The edges are beginning to pull away. You can see a darker golden brown around the edges. The top is set and dry. The cream cheese is nice and toasty and golden. One last metric always is a toothpick, and it is coming out with just a couple of crumbs. Can you see? Just a couple of crumbs. Not completely dry. Not completely wet. We did great. We did great. Think we have to let it sit for 10 minutes before I cut into it, unfortunately. Technically, I should be letting it sit for an hour. Should we just cut it tomorrow? I kind of don't want to even eat it right now. Would you like me to go live tomorrow and I can cut it tomorrow when it's like actually set? Or are you unable to be patient? Which kid are you in the marshmallow test? Can you wait for double the marshmallow or can you not wait? Life will suck then? Why will life suck then? No, I don't want life to suck tomorrow. Please don't. Wow, guys, it's glorious. What I can smell from it is first and foremost the coconut oil. Wow, so many people say wait till tomorrow. Okay, thank you for your permission. Act now for there is no tomorrow. I can smell the coconut oil first and foremost, and then I can smell the guava, and then I think I can smell the ginger marrying with the rosemary, marrying with the almond, but it's like almost indiscernible. Undiscernible? Indiscernible? I don't remember which word. For the most part, I think we've done quite well for live that's almost 3 hours after I suffered a debilitating period cramp. Your jeans want to make me wear blue denim again so bad. Why don't you want to wear blue denim? Burnt marshmallows are the best. I got these at a clothing exchange that my friend Charlie co-hosted. They fit me great. I unfortunately gained some weight, about 10 pounds, since I got COVID. And unfortunately, I'm trying to like not fat shame myself. I'm trying not to be fat phobic, but I still am, honestly. But the unfortunate part is not because I gained weight, because I think I look fine, so I tell myself. But it's because I have had to retire about 5 pairs of jeans that I can no longer fit into, and it has been crushing me. But this clothing swap came right in time, and it fits me perfectly. We got a faded non-pocket here. We got a functional deep wide pocket here, and we got buttons. That's all you need. Oh, it's 100% cotton, which I love, and it's got this hem that I can roll down for length with no accent, or I can roll up for a color variation. It's great. I love it. I'm so thankful about clothing swaps. Yeah, professional clothes suck. Do I message you the ingredient list on Instagram or post it here in comments after live? Laura, thank you so much, first of all, for doing all of that. Amazing. Post it here in the comments when you can, and I'll pin it. That way we'll have a recipe for folks, and then we can cut into it tomorrow. So. Thank you, Laura. And, oh, Leonora, you're hilarious. I'm glad you found the link. So, okay, thank you guys for joining me. I hope your body is not in pain, and if it is, take care of yourself, and talk to friends, drink some water, go to sleep, eat cookies, and maybe stay away from the plantain chips. Maybe plantain chips are just not my friend. I don't know, but hopefully I'll see you tomorrow to cut into the cake, and if I don't, imagine what the cake looks like. I hope to be able to go live tomorrow, but who knows what life brings, huh?